The influence of coffee. Since its discovery, coffee has been the drink of the workers. People drink it to stay alert throughout the workday and not fall asleep in the middle of a shift. As it grew in popularity, many misconceptions about the drink arose, the most popular one being that coffee could instantly sober you up, but this is far from true. There are many stories as to how coffee was discovered. One story says that a man saw that his goats became particularly energized after consuming a certain berry, so he tried it himself and felt more alert. Another story tells of a man who was sentenced to death by starvation in the desert. A vision then guided him to a coffee tree from which he ate the berries off of. The berries made him feel stronger, and his survival was seen as a sign that God had spared him. At one point, coffee was outlawed by a local governor in the Middle East because he didn't believe that coffee followed Muslim law, but this proclamation was quickly overruled by higher authorities. Many Catholics were on the fence about whether or not coffee should be allowed, so they asked the Pope about his opinion on the subject. They thought it was a good idea to give him a sample of the drink to inspect. He became so entranced with the drink that he okayed it for Catholic consumption. Coffee houses became extremely popular in Europe, especially London. More people started hanging out at coffee houses than at ale houses, which was good because it meant less people falling down drunk in the middle of the day. Despite its popularity, coffee still had critics in England. People thought that coffee houses were wastes of time and they were eventually outlawed. This proclamation was repealed because it was widely ignored, so coffee houses were once again legal. At this point, Arabia was the #1 producer of coffee for the world, but Gabriel Mathieu de Cluny was determined to spread coffee cultivation into the French West Indies. After acquiring an illegal cutting from a coffee tree, he spread the crop into France, and eventually it made its way to South America. The coffee crop flourished in South America, and Brazil took Arabia's spot as the #1 coffee exporter in the world. Back in Europe, coffee houses became breeding grounds for knowledge. Sir Isaac Newton himself got the last bit of help that he needed to get his theory of gravitational forces recognized over a cup of coffee. Important business breakthroughs also happened thanks to coffee. The stock exchange, for one, was invented in a coffee house. Science and business aren't the only fields that owe some of their advancements to coffee. Many important philosophical ideas were born inside of coffee houses. The philosopher John Locke stated his belief that all men are equal under the eyes of God in a coffee house. Coffee is also responsible for a revolution. Just outside of a cafe in 1789, Frenchman Camille Desmoulins gave an empowering speech that set the French Revolution into action. We have coffee to thank for so many of the past, present, and future advancements of mankind. Today, in coffee shops all around the world, you can find people working for a better tomorrow.